Hi guys, and welcome to another Tech Talk. I want to thank you guys for joining me, and thanks for sticking around. I know it's been a little while since I last joined you here on YouTube. Life's been a little bit busy, and well, I just been taking in some of the information regarding AMD's Threadripper processors and RX Vega. So today I want to actually talk to you guys about RX Vega and more specifically my concern for the increase in price after the launch of the cards. So Vega came out just a few days ago, and a lot of the sites are saying, the performance is better than what Fury gave us back several years ago, which it should be. However, the price that we were originally quoted is being shown as an introductory price only. Where the concern comes in when it comes to this type of thing is that these cards are not, let's put it this way, they're not exceeding the performance of the things that Nvidia sent before it. Now, perhaps this is a move to get a little bit more money out of the miners because that's who they figure is going to get their hands on these cards first, and they possibly could be right. AMD, of course, was burned before during the last mining video card crisis, so it's kind of interesting to see this move. However, it does kind of screw over normal consumers such as you guys and myself. I mean, I would actually like to pick up a Vega at some point just to really kind of see what type of performance I got in comparison to the Titan that I currently have. I mean, as I've said here many times, I would eventually like to build several systems and kind of trade cards in and out just so I can test things and do a little bit more besides react to some of the news that's out there. So with them putting up the price of the cards, I mean, this is kind of spending a lot of the goodwill that they are getting with Ryzen. Vega, by no stretch of the means I would consider a failure. However, I don't think it is the bag of goods that AMD was attempting to sell us. At the same time, I also think that they, by pushing it off, oh, it's coming. I mean, they kept building the hype. I mean, they were the stuff that leaked out, not necessarily things that they said, but I also do believe that somebody said that they were testing these cards against the Titan and against a TI and against a 1080, which was kind of giving a general perception of what the expectation of performance should be. I mean, what other reason would you have to compete against these cards? Unless, once again, it is well known that RX Vega is a very high compute performer. So much to the fact that Nvidia actually had to come back. They put out a driver for the Titan to increase its compute power to that of the Quadro, which is a $4,000 card. So I found that rather interesting, and also shame on you, Nvidia. I understand you're trying to make the most money for the least amount of effort, but don't gimp your cards like that. It's unbecoming of any type of company. And in the case of AMD RX Vega, if I have to really go and say this, to put the card out at a price and then crank it up a little bit, I guess if you were going to use the reason of foreign markets and fluctuating currency, that's one thing, because that's pretty much predicated by global markets and the value of currency in said market versus, what you're bringing in for money and what it costs you to produce. But to just bring out and say, well, this is the introductory price. Well, I mean, that's kind of great and good and all that, but usually anything after an introductory price, you got to offer something extra. I mean, car manufacturers, they don't bring out a vehicle and say, well, this is the introductory price, and in 3 months you're going to pay about $10,000 more for it. Typically, there is something extra that is put in there, or there are some features added to that increased model. So if there's no plans to put anything in extra AMD, I'm curious exactly how you justify the increase, considering these cards definitely don't beat your competition. And if you're going for the most profit, or if you're going for complete sellout, I mean, you're lucky at this point that their miners are around. Now, this isn't, and I want to clarify, this isn't to say that I'm really crapping on the cards. I don't have one. I only can read what I see. And over the R9 series and over the Fury series, these are decent increases. If you were to buy one of these cards, if that's what you decided, if you're an AMD guy all the way, go for it. I think it's a great upgrade, and I think you do well to go with these cards. But once again, at the same time, as I said, it's a year later. It provides the same performance, and we've got Volta around the corner. And by around the corner, I'm assuming within the next 8 to 10 months. So I don't know, guys. As I said, I think this is a little sketchy of AMD, and not quite necessarily what we were expecting from them out of the gate with the high-end products, although I did see at least higher price points coming when way back at their Investors Day several months ago, they kept talking about premium products which demand premium pricing. So it also leaves me to think, and I'd actually like a comment on this down below. Do you guys think if the shoe was on the other foot that AMD would have also rung us over the coals if Intel was not able to compete? Let me know down below. I'd love to have that discussion with y'all. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching, and once again, I know it's been a little while since I last put one of these up. I appreciate you all out there, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.